Hey everybody, I'm Mama Baird and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I have what I got from my local food bank this week. This is our local food bank. You're allowed to go every week. We are a family of 5. Going to my food bank really helps us stretch our dollar and it helps stop food waste as well. Food waste is absolutely atrocious here in the United States, and I've seen it in all different forms. I've worked on the line as a line cook, so I've seen food waste that goes on in kitchens. I've also worked in bakeries at grocery stores, so I've seen how much food actually gets thrown away from the shelf. And if you think about it, that's just one bakery, one restaurant in one city, in one part of the world, right? So how much food waste is really going on out there? And that's the real shame, is all this good food that's getting thrown away when there's so many people out there struggling to pay for their groceries. That's one reason I really love my local food bank, is that it makes sure that it goes out and it picks up foods from the local grocery stores. Grocery stores have the ability to donate food to food banks instead of throwing it away if they choose. So if you're struggling to get food, please consider going to your local food bank. A lot of it is items that you have to cook, or you might get in bulk, or you may not know what to do, but accept that challenge and learn a new skill, learn a new item on how to cook with something to really help be able to utilize free food as you can find it. So if you or someone you know needs food, please consider going to your local food bank. I will have some resources listed below if you need a place to start. All right, enough jibber jabber. Let's get into this haul and let's see what food I was able to pick up from my local food bank. Before we do though, please make sure to give me a like, subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Every like, comment, share really helps support me and my family. Thank you so much. All right, let's get in here and let's see what I got. All right, I'm gonna start with the bread. Everybody over a family of 4 was allowed 2 loaves of bread this week, so I got 2 different sandwich breads. I really like this sourdough for grilled cheeses as well as French toast. And then for an extra produce, we got a salad kit here. Not 100%, it's got a little brown on it, but once you throw the dressing on there, it'll be fine. Like, we'll pick out the super bad parts, but we'll have this for dinner. The kids really like salad, so that was a nice grab. And then they had a bunch of these little snack pack with broccoli, carrots, and a little bit of celery here and a little ranch thing. So every family got one of these. And then for my actual produce, you're allowed to get a bag of produce for a family of 5. So I got a couple of lemons down here, and the rest was apples, because my kids really like apples and go through them a lot. So we got a bag of that. And then on the extra bin, they had some coffee beans. I love it when they have coffee beans. This is from the Good Food Store. It looks like beans that could have gotten dumped. I've also noticed that they'll get big bags of coffee beans donated from Costco, and that's one of the things that the volunteers will separate and put them into bags like this so everybody can have a pound or so of beans, and then it gets split up nicely. And then every family also got 2 bags of dry milk. And then they had some extra hygiene stuff that you could take. So I got a Coconut Nourish shampoo. Smells good. And shampoo is one thing that I don't have stockpiled. It's like shampoo and body wash and stuff. So here's a body wash as well. So that's definitely something that I need to work on personally for our goal. That smells good. It's a plumberry. It's having a good stockpile of hygiene products. That's one thing that I need to work on. I also want to stop for a second, and one of my subscribers sent me this gift for my birthday. My birthday is actually on St. Patrick's Day, so it's coming up, and I think this is one of the cutest things I ever saw. It's a little tissue holder. It's got elastic here to kind of hold it down. Look at this cute little lace, and it's got little pillows, St. Patrick's Day pillows. Oh my gosh, I don't know. This is just the most darling thing I have ever seen. Karen, thank you so much for sending this to me. I absolutely love it. Look at that little couch. I don't know. It's adorable. I really appreciate it. It's so thoughtful, and I absolutely love the St. Patrick's Day theme to it. So thank you so much. This is amazing. One of the best gifts I have ever gotten. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to make sure I gave that a shout out because that was amazing. All right, every family was allowed 3 cans of pears. They had a lot of pears available, so they gave an additional 3 cans to everybody. And then they had these red beans and rice. I thought this looked really cool. Have you guys tried this before? I've seen like the Glory brand, mostly in like spinach, I want to say. So red beans and rice. It's one of the things I would love to learn, how to like can rice. It's like they can do it commercially. Why can't I do it? You know? But I grabbed 2 cans of those. And then they also had some tomatoes. So these have a dent in them, but the dent's not along the seal. One thing you want to look at when you're getting dented cans is to make sure, well, see, this one is kind of dented right here. So this could be questionable because the seal is dented right here. And then this one as well, this is a fire roasted, but it just has a little dent, not nearly as bad. So that's something you want to look at. This could be a questionable can. So this might be something that I use up right away to get it so it's not, because the longer it sits, the more that it deteriorates, you know, or you could just not risk it and toss one of those. That's a personal decision, whether you like to use expired food or dented cans or not. I personally have a lot of experience with using dented cans and expired foods, and most of the time you'd be surprised that a lot of it's okay. I do have a video that I put together talking about botulism and food poisoning. I can leave that linked below if it's something that you want a little more information on. It's kind of an informative video on it, but I think it's important to understand it so you're not scared by it. All right, continuing, they had so many lentils. So every family was allowed 5 bags of lentils. Now, one of my subscribers who also goes to the food bank, she does videos on what she got. Her name is Weeping Willow Homestead. I will leave her linked below too. She said that you can sprout lentils for chickens. So that's something I'm going to be doing. But also a lot of you have said that lentils work as a meat substitute. And I just don't believe that. We are big meat eaters around here. And I don't think that lentils could possibly taste like ground beef. But we're going to give that a try for dinner. So make sure you don't go anywhere because we're cooking lentils for dinner. Cooking up some of these. And then they had tons of this balsamic vinaigrette. I don't know if it's past its best by date, or if the company maybe who was selling this decided not to sell it, so they had leftover. But every family was allowed to take 6, and they've had this for several weeks. So I grabbed 6 of these, and I think what I'm going to do is use this kind of as not just for salad, but as a marinade for veggies or chicken or whatever. And then in the frozen section, they had blueberries. So this could be one of your options instead of another meat choice. So they had like 1 pound things of bacon or blueberries. I still have quite a bit of bacon, so I opted for the blueberries. And these go great in smoothies and also perfect on yogurt. We love frozen blueberries on yogurt. And then for a meat choice, they had pork patties. So I don't think they're sausage because they don't have the seasoning, but it just says fully cooked pork patties. So these are fully cooked. I was thinking about maybe breading these and making little country fried steaks. I don't know, you think that would be cool? I don't think they would overcook it because it's already cooked. So I don't know, I think that would be a fun option as well. And then another meat that I got was this pork loin strip, boneless, and it had peppercorn seasoning. Now this was frozen. All the meats they hand out are frozen, but I thought it because I want to cook some of it for dinner. And then for our sweet treat, these are called strawberry pillows. And they got strawberry whipped cream on a croissant, and it had powdered sugar on top. My husband took a bite out of it, but he is not a strawberry fan, so he didn't know that there are big clumps of real strawberry on there. But I think that looks good. Let's give it a try. Pretty much a strawberry shortcake on a croissant. Why didn't I think of that? And then the last thing that I was able to pick up are some little gel clings for the windows. They had a bunch of different ones left over from Valentine's Day. So these would be super fun. I like that the store also donates non-perishable items like this. Like after the holidays, we'll get Christmas stuff. After, you know, then we'll get Halloween stuff late. So now it's Valentine's Day, and then after this, they'll probably have like St. Patrick's Day stuff or Easter stuff. So that is all that I got this week. I'm super excited about it. Super excited to cook up some lentils. And then, so I'm going to make some lentil sloppy joes. That's kind of my plan. Sloppy Joe is a very kid-friendly dish. I have some hamburger buns left over from last week, so I'm going to make that. I think I'm also going to make like this pork stir fry. We're going to take this and some veggie mix and our pork loin here and cut up one of those and kind of make a marinade for this, and then we'll put either potatoes with it or something where we're gonna make like a sheet pan dinner as well. So that's kind of my plan. So hang tight, let me get all this put up and then we'll start cooking. All right guys, welcome back. First thing I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to get this marinating. So I'm gonna open this up. We'll save this ranch pack. Let's cut some of these carrots in half, just to make a little more. Sometimes with working with what you got is just learning to stretch it. Like, yeah, I could have gave that to the kids, you know, to munch on. They might have ate it. They at least would have ate the carrots, you know. But sometimes it's fun using something new you get and try to incorporate it in cooking. So, I'm going to cut that up. Some of our veggies. I also have some potatoes here that we're going to add, as well as an onion. And then some of this pork. Another shout out I want to do is to Amber on Mama to All Homestead. She sent me this watermelon cut board, and I think that was really thoughtful, and I really appreciate it, Amber. So I'm going to leave her channel linked below. She does a lot of pantry cooking as well, so make sure you go give her a look over and a subscribe. So I'm just going to kind of large dice this to kind of make it bite size. And I think we'll just do half of an onion for now, because there's not too many veggies in here. Which is nice. We're going to try and stretch this as far as we can with what we have. And then let's do some potatoes. Just going to kind of square this off. Same thing, we're going to kind of do like 1-inch cubes. I like that. It's a good way to use up smaller potatoes if you have them. And save some of your really good big ones for slicing or baked potatoes. Alright, I think that's good. Not the most ideal way to skin a potato because you have a little more waste cutting it off that way. But it does make nice even cuts if that's what you're looking for. I mean, if you don't, like, I still haven't found my peeler, but I haven't dug around too much for it, so. Alright, we got that. Now let's cut up some of this pork on here. Now the only thing this is a pepper medley on here. So I'm thinking just like the tri-color peppercorns is what it looks like. So I'm going to cut this kind of like the same size as the potatoes. Now, if you were to get this cut of meat, what would you do with this? This is almost 2.5 pounds of pork loin strips, boneless. So what are some other options that you could do with this? We all love learning from each other. Please let me know in the comments below. I also have a Facebook group, Mama Baird's Homestead. I will leave that linked below as well. And that's one where we give a lot of different ideas and support, mostly with cooking. But, you know, if you have any other problems or anything you'd like to talk about, it's a really nice community. I'm super proud of it, and I would love to have you join. So we'll have that linked below as well. Okay, so here's, let's cut this in half. One. All right, let's cut open one of these packets of dressing. Two. Good way to use these up then. Alright. I'm just going to kind of mix this up. This easily could have been done in like a bag or foil too, like a Ziploc bag. I'm just gonna let this sit probably for an hour or so, maybe 2 hours, because I got about an hour and a half till I need to go pick up the kids from school. All right, let's get the lid on this. Let this marinate. Okay, now, as for these last 2 pieces of pork here, I think I might cut these into strips. And then we can make like, I was thinking beef and broccoli, so this would be like pork and broccoli or something, or even use this for stir fry. That way it'll cook faster, and this will be something that we cook later on the week. I do like to have pantry cooking videos where I record what I cook for the week, sometimes 2 weeks, and then it'll be a long cooking video of all the different things that I've made based off of what I've gotten from my local food bank and what I have in my house or what I have canned up myself. So I'm trying to get super creative. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. I can have a couple of those videos listed if you haven't seen them before. Alright, now we have our pork already sliced up, ready to go for our next meal. Alright, let's wash one more time and clean and sanitize our area, and then I'll bring it back. Alright, the childrens are home, so let's cook some dinner. I'm going to throw down some olive oil here, and then I have some diced peppers that I had last week from the food bank that are still good, so I'm going to use them. And then I chopped up that last half of that onion and diced it up pretty small, so we're just going to do peppers and onions here. I like to add these even in regular sloppy joe mix with ground beef. I just love peppers and onions. It makes such a difference in cooking and flavors, plus it adds extra veggies. And then I'm going to throw in a little bit of garlic here towards the end of the searing. This is pickled garlic. I'm just trying to use it up. It's one that I got that I have in the fridge with just a couple of cloves in it, but you can use fresh garlic, would work great. And then I'm going to be adding in the lentils. It says to use 1 cup broth, 1 cup water to 1 cup of lentils, but I'm going to use 2 cups of my home canned chicken broth. The things floating in it is just extra fat, which is just going to make it nice and tasty. So we're going to cook this and bring it up to a boil and then reduce it down to a simmer. So you cook lentils just like you would rice. So while we're waiting for that to come up to a boil, I'm going to mix up my sauce, which is a 1/4 cup of ketchup, 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm using the ones from the tube here. You want to do a couple of teaspoons of Who's Your Sister sauce. I really believe that it adds a lot of flavor, and this is a crucial ingredient in sloppy joe mix. And then I'm going to add some brown sugar. I did about 2 tablespoons. This is to taste, so if you don't want it as sweet. And then I'm going to add some chili powder. This is about a teaspoon. Chili powder is more flavor than spice in my opinion. And then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of yellow mustard and then a splash of apple cider vinegar. This is like a honey cayenne that I have, just a little bit of that I'm going to use. And then you're going to mix all that up till it makes like this creamy sauce, thick sauce, and that's what we're going to add after our lentils are done cooking. So I'm going to reduce them down to a simmer, let them cook for 25 minutes. And now I'm going to cook some of this marinade pork veggie mix that we had going on. I decided to use my air fryer so I didn't have to turn on my big oven, and there's only a little bit of it. So this is kind of like a backup meal that I'm making for husband because I really don't think he's gonna like the lentils. So I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and some pepper to the top of it just to make sure that that's pretty well seasoned. I don't know quite how much flavor is going to be in that vinaigrette to give to it. So I'm going to cook this. It ended up being 13 minutes at 400 in the air fryer. I had it in this little liner so it soaked up some of the juices, and this turned out absolutely delicious. I really like it. It did need like some kind of sauce because it was just a bunch of meat and potatoes, you know, didn't have much of a sauce to it, but the texture of everything was really good. The potatoes were cooked, the pork was cooked through yet still juicy. And then I remembered I was having a conversation with Melody over on Facebook, and she reminded me of chow chow, and I have some of it. And this is just like a pickled veggie mix. It has cauliflower, zucchini, cabbage, cucumbers in there. So this is what I'm going to be using kind of as my condiment. I think that chow chow goes really well with pork. So that's what I ended up eating, and it was delicious. So now we're going to check on the lentils. It's been the 20 minutes. We're simmering the whole time. They're pretty cooked, but they still need to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes more. So all I'm going to do is go ahead and add in the sauce. This is our sauce concoction that we made, really good for sloppy joes. So I'm going to throw that in there, and then 1 cup of tomato sauce. I did have a little bit of tomato sauce left over after this, so it was probably about a little under a cup. So I'm going to be putting that in the fridge, and I'll use that later in another recipe. I didn't want to double this just yet because I want to make sure that we like it first. So you let that cook for about 10 to 15 more minutes, and then it's ready to go. So let's get this on a hamburger bun here, and let's give it a try. I don't know, it looks kind of like a sloppy joe, but does it taste like one? A lentil sloppy joe. I'm not too sure about this. Let's give it a try though. We can't judge it before we try it. And it's supposed to taste the same. I mean, it tastes good, but I wouldn't say it's a substitute for ground beef. I mean, protein-wise maybe, but texture-wise, it still got a crunch to it. It's not like big giant chunks of ground meat, you know. I don't think this will fool husband, but it tastes pretty good. Just, you know, call it what it is, which is lentils sloppy joes. Tastes pretty good. That sauce is really good though. So even if you don't want to use lentils, if you want to substitute ground beef or ground chicken, ground turkey, any of that, and then use that basic sloppy joe sauce, you'll be good to go. Well, I thought that was pretty good. I don't know if that's something that we'll throw regularly into the meal plan. Lentils is one of those things where we're just gonna like, oh, I really want to like them, but so far I've yet to have one that really wows me, a lentil recipe, you know. So if you have a really good lentil recipe, please let us know in the comments below. The rest of those I'll probably start sprouting for my chickens. I think that's a great idea. I think that the pork and vegetables turned out fantastic. I'm glad that I thought to put it in the air fryer instead of heating up my whole oven. That worked fantastic. That's what husband's gonna have for dinner. I figured he probably wouldn't like that. I went ahead and made a backup. I don't usually cook 2 meals, but when you're making something experimental like lentils and that's your main meal, I kind of like to have a backup because I don't want to force everybody to eat it if they don't like it. So when I'm trying something new, I like to have a backup or a plan B in mind in case people don't like it. So I'm glad that I did. That pork, husband's going to be all over that. Thanks for coming along and seeing what I received at my local food bank this week. Once again, if you or someone you know needs help, please consider going to your local food bank. That is what it is there for. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time on Mama Baird's.